Hi all, today I'm showing you how to make my grandma's southern pumpkin bread with a crumble topping. It's delicious. Ingredients you'll need: half a cup of vegetable oil, 2.5 cups of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, pan baking spray with flour, 2 large eggs, 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin, half a teaspoon of baking soda, 2 sticks of butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 2 cups of pecans, and 3 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. You'll need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Now first off, I put 2 cups of pecans in the food processor. I didn't want to have to chop them, so I used the food processor. And I chopped them to smallish pieces. When I'm done chopping them, I put them in a shallow dish, and then I sprinkle a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour on top, and then I toss and then set them to the side. And the reason for the flour is so that the nuts will be evenly dispersed in the batter. It helps it. And now I'm just going to melt 1 stick of butter that will go in the batter. Now I'm measuring just out 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder goes into the flour. And then half a teaspoon of baking soda, and 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, and half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. And finally 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. And then I'm going to mix everything together really well, because you want everything really incorporated before it actually goes into the wet mixture portion of it. Nothing's worse than getting a clump of spices or salt. And now I'm just cracking 2 large room temperature eggs into the stand mixer. And I think, oh yeah, I got a double yolk. Yahtzee. And now I'm going to add 2 cups of sugar to the eggs. And I'm going to mix on high. And then I'm going to add the 1 stick of melted butter. And then I'm going to add half a cup of vegetable oil. And again, this is going to incorporate, and the sugar is going to break down a little bit. And for some reason my camera stopped and I didn't get the 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, but I promise you I did add it. And now I'm just adding the 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin. And once I have all the pumpkin in the stand mixer, I'm gonna mix it on high. And it just doesn't take that long to do this part of it. And then I'm going to set it to the side while I make the crumble topping, because I need that before I can finish the batter. So I'm going to mix it well on high. And now I'll make the crumble topping. And this is so simple. You can keep this in the freezer if you want afterwards, whatever's left. It's a cup of all-purpose flour, half a cup of sugar, and I always mix it together really well before I move on and add the nuts or anything else, because you want to make sure there's no lumps in the flour or sugar. And I'm just going to take a half a cup of the chopped pecans from what I had chopped earlier and add that and mix it in. And with the other stick of butter, I melted it and I'm using it for the crumble top. That's why there's 2 sticks of butter. One goes in the batter and one's for the crumble topping. And once I have this all mixed together, the crumble topping, I'll put it to the side until I'm ready to use it. And you won't use all of it. This I always make extra because I like to keep these things in the freezer for when I might have to pull a dessert together. And now I'm just adding the flour mixture, and I'm just going to combine until it's just barely combined. And I do that because I don't want to overmix it and develop gluten. That's always the fine line you're walking, because anytime there's obviously moisture in the pumpkin, even though we've not added, any kind of milk or anything, and there's also moisture in the eggs, you'll develop gluten if you beat it a lot, and you don't want to do that. So, and everything we're doing here is to create a moist, tender bread. So that's what I'm trying to do. And now I'm just going to fold in the rest of the chopped pecans. I have about a cup and a half left, and I just fold it in. And then once I have it folded in, I'll spray the loaf pan. You could use 2 loaf pans, but I prefer one because I like a very tall pumpkin bread. I think it looks really pretty. And so I just spray the loaf pan with Pam baking spray with flour. If you've been watching my videos, you know how I feel about Pam baking spray with flour. I love it. It's the best. And so I'm just pouring the batter into the prepared loaf pan. And then I'm going to put the crumble top on. As I said, I made more than I needed. I always do that, though. I figure if I'm going to make it, I might as well make double what I would need or triple what I need, because that way I can always freeze it and use it for something else later on. And you could put more on than I did, but I think I put on just the right amount. So now I'm just placing it in the preheated 350-degree oven, and you bake between 55 to 65 minutes. Again, that is always dependent upon your oven. You bring it out of the oven, you use a cake tester or a toothpick to test for doneness. If it comes out clean, then it's done. You're going to let it rest for 1 hour before serving. And this is what it looks like. You can have it for breakfast, you can have it for a snack with a cup of coffee or tea. It's incredible. To help our channel grow, we're asking everybody to please like, subscribe, and comment. If you're enjoying our content, and we hope that you are, please consider becoming a subscriber. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does help us out tremendously. We also ask that you please watch the video from beginning to end. This also helps out. It's all because of how the YouTube algorithm works. Otherwise, we stay hidden. All these things are necessary for growth on YouTube, and we'd like to grow. Thank you all for your help. I post videos 3 times a week, on Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With the holidays coming up, we're very excited to be showing you how we celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas here in the South, with all of our Southern traditions going back hundreds of years. So please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss one of our videos. We'll see you real soon. Thank you all for watching. We're very grateful to all of our new and old subscribers for supporting us and helping us grow. We know that hurricanes Helene and Milton have destroyed lives and communities, affecting so many who live here in the South and Southeast. So we're encouraging you to help those in need by donating to the American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, World Central Kitchen, All Hands and Hearts, AmeriCares, Operation Blessing, and Save the Children. We're not affiliated with any of these organizations, but we know that they're doing good work on the ground. Please stay safe and be blessed.